Hi guys, Sebastian here from MobiFlight. So good to see you. It is December 2023 and I'm very excited about this release review video. As you might know, this year was the 10th anniversary of MobiFlight. And what a coincidence, we are releasing version number 10. So it is a very cool release with a lot of features. It's probably, the biggest release ever, and everything is going to be available to you for free, for download. Let's check it out. Before we jump into the release notes and review every single item of the new features, I just want to say something, okay? Back in 2013, when I started with MobiFlight and I took it open source, I was like hoping for a cool community who share their knowledge about home cockpit building. And I always wanted to make like home cockpit building very, very affordable and accessible to everyone. And of course, I also hope for support through the community, like for developing and extending MobiFlight with new features. And now in 2023, I can really say this dream has come true. We have a very, very vibrant and awesome community. We have so passionate moderators on our team who provide such an excellent support. We have all you guys being part of the community, sharing their ideas, sharing their experiences, helping each other. That is so amazing. And of course, we also have GitHub sponsors and people who support MobiFlight financially through PayPal donations, which make it possible to me, for example, to see you guys at events like the FS Expo or Lilystad. And that has also been such a great opportunity. Thanks for making MobiFlight what it is, an awesome community open source project. All right, I'm now looking at the page of the MobiFlight connector release where we have the release notes and everything is on it. As you can see on top, it says that this release contains a firmware update, and I will click on it. And I really want to say thank you, especially to Ralph, aka as Ralph, because he has put a lot of effort into it. Also Giorgio and Neil, and it really has come very, very far. We have a lot of performance improvements. We have a lot of memory improvements on the firmware, and we have support for the TM1637 chips. I'm gonna talk about that in a little bit. And we also have this new kind of the groundwork that was needed on the firmware side to enable the custom devices. More about that in a little bit. Just wanted to show that on the firmware, we also have these release notes, so you can take a look whenever you want. And the release notes here for the connector also say that there is a new WASM module available. Make sure to install it when MobiFlight asks you during startup. Always make sure that you go with the latest version. Now, let's start with the feature list. Yeah, you see new features, all these items. So the first one is cool. It's the load joystick definitions from a JSON file. And this allows us to create joystick profiles. We can describe the capabilities of a joystick. We can name the buttons nicer. We can label the axis better. And this is a cool thing where we also need the support from the community, from people like you who help us to create these profiles and make the experience of using joysticks within MobiFlight even better. The next one is awesome. It is so cool. It's initial Midi board support. Yeah, so that is a contribution by Kosang, and you can now connect a Midi board and you can configure it through MobiFlight and control your flight sim. Yeah, Midi boards have buttons, have nice encoders. You don't have to be a musician to use it for your flight sim. Try it out, it's really cool. Another feature is the Octavi support. Octavi is this little device and is pretty cool because it's super portable. And it is like a joystick, but to really use all the cool things that it supports, we had to make some adjustments and improvements on the MobiFlight side. So Check it out, try it if you are the owner of one of those, and see how nicely you can configure it now inside of MobiFlight. We have a new cool feature that is the modifiers, and the modifiers now come with its own UI. So modifiers were already under the hood available in the config file, but it was not really visible to the user. So this has changed now. Modifiers is cool. It's very, very flexible. It allows you to take like a value that you read from the sim and you can push it through a chain of modifiers of in the past, we had modifiers to some extent, like we had transformations, we had compare, and we had interpolation, and that was spread around a little bit in the UI. Now it's everything in one place, and there is one modifier that is also very new, and Jaime from the moderator team, he loves it. It's the blink modifier. You have to try this out. Make your LEDs blink with this modifier. It's so much fun. Let me know if you like it. And I made sure it's backward compatible, so all your configurations should still work. Try it. It's awesome. Well, we have keyboard support now for stepper calibration. If you have ever used a stepper before, then you know that calibrating the stepper is one of the steps that you have to do. You want to tell MobiFlight where the home or where the 0 point is. And you had to use the mouse, and sometimes that's not like really comfortable, especially when the gauge is in one place and your monitor and the mouse is in a little bit different place. So now with the help of Simon and his contribution, we can now use the keyboard to do that. That's amazing, super cool. We have now the option to control whether MobiFlight minimizes into the tray when the auto run option is used. Auto run is cool, so you can make MobiFlight start automatically, you know, as soon as the flight sim becomes available. And then it used to minimize into the tray and was gone. Like, idea was you don't want to really see it, you don't want to interact with it, it should just work. You can now control this. If you want that the window stays open, that's possible now. And then there is this cool feature that now allows us to connect a certain configuration of MobiFlight with a specific aircraft in your sim. And whenever you load into a flight with this specific aircraft, then MobiFlight will automatically load the associated config. And to link a config to an aircraft is pretty straightforward. Yeah, just go through the status bar and say link this, and then you're done. You can of course also enable and disable this feature, so it's up to you how you like it best. Then we have TM6037 support. As I already mentioned when looking at the firmware, this is an extension. It is part of the MobiFlight core firmware now, support for the TM1637. So this is an alternative for the MAX7219 chip that we are using for 7-segment displays. And there's a group of users who already started to build their cockpits with TM1637 coming from other sims or other systems, and now they can transition over to MobiFlight. So we hope that this makes it very easy for you to switch over to MobiFlight, and thank you so much to Giorgio, who put a lot of effort into making this possible with his code contribution. The next one is the generic custom devices. This sounds a little weird, yeah, and it's quite technical, but it's gonna open up now like a lot of new possibilities for other people to integrate with MobiFlight. And with the next release, we're gonna also show some of these integrations. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And in the meantime, what I wanna say is with generic custom devices, we now allow the community to add more support for new devices that cannot make it into the core firmware of MobiFlight. So far, we used to add like all the new devices that we're supporting into the main official firmware, but we're hitting certain limitations. So we decided to open this up, create a cool interface for people to extend MobiFlight, and I'm pretty sure that you will come up with really, really cool ideas, like new OLED displays and whatnot. So we're really looking forward to seeing what you can come up with. Okay, the next one is also really cool. It's a super convenient feature. It is about being able to plug in and unplug a board at any given time whenever MobiFlight is running. So MobiFlight will now be able to pick up any board that has been connected after the MobiFlight startup. So this is really cool. I have this stupid USB hub every time, well, almost every time it's powered off when I start MobiFlight. I had to power it on, I had to restart MobiFlight, and this is not needed anymore. It's really cool. I hope it works for you so well as it did for us during the beta. And yeah, let us know in the comments. Now we have additional button events, not only on press and on release. No, we have on hold, we have on repeat, we have on long press release, and this gives you so many new options. I give you an example. Yeah, for example, the clear button on the GNS 530, that can be a hold, a long hold. We have trim buttons where you want to make sure that the trim event repeats when you press it. And many other ideas that you can now solve with these options. Thank you so much, Kozing, for another contribution in this release. Really cool. Probably the most favorite feature, in my opinion, is the drag and drop feature that is now available. You can rearrange your configurations, and it is going to be persisted in your configuration, which means the next time that you load your file, the same order will also be restored. That helps you to, move things around, organize them better. And with this feature, we also made sure that we fix a shortcoming on the sorting that we were supporting in the past. So you can sort as you used to, but with the third sort, you will reset the current sort order back to the one that is also reflected in the config file itself. And the last one on this feature list is the auto update of your HubHop preset database. So it's not fully automated yet, but MobiFlight will remind you when it sees that the database is older than 7 days, and it will come up with a notification, and with a click of a button, you will be able to very comfortably update your HubHop presets. That's awesome, that's easy, just makes it very, very easy to keep the database up to date. Let's take a closer look at the improvement section. I will not talk about every individual one, but just want to give you an overview. So there's some things that deal with adding additional vendor IDs and product IDs to recognize certain Arduino boards. The Nano also has the A6 and the A7 pin now available. And we also have some cool things on the UI that are subtle, but they're really good to know. So we have monospace font now in everything that has to do with codes and the presets. And we also have the monospace font in every place where you can use expressions like these encalc expressions. And I hope that this will make it clear, where you can use those, where you can expect to be able to use those. Subtle change, but really nice. We updated the device icons. That is really cool. That's not only subtle, you will see it. Yeah, if you go inside of the board settings dialog, it's so cool. They are so fresh and they're so nice. And it's a little bigger, everything, a little bit more space. I did this together with Thomas. Thanks, Thomas, for helping. There was one more that I wanted to show. Yeah, performance improvements. So for example, the lock panel, there's only every 50 milliseconds it's gonna get updated. Or we also have a good one that is the debounce of the HubHop search field. So when you type, it will kind of wait a little bit until you're done. So before it searches, because the database is quite big and it was kind of blocking the UI. Another one is that we see the firmware update progress in the log output. That is also very cool, done by Neil. So that's pretty much it for the improvements and the features. And there's a long list of bug fixes that I won't now explain in detail, but you see how much effort really goes into a MobiFlight release. I hope you enjoyed this release review video, and I hope that you're now really excited to get your hands on this new update. So start MobiFlight, acknowledge the update message, and just give it a try. Join our Discord server to get help, to ask questions, to also share your ideas. Use the comment section here on this video if you have questions. And with this, now I'm gonna say bye. See you next time. Subscribe to the channel, make sure that you receive a notification when I release the next video. See you soon here or on the community. Bye.